Hello, hello, hello. If you don't know who I am, my name is Shook. I make videos for NBA. I make videos for NFL. All these videos get posted on this subreddit called DF Sports with one S. Really great place to see. People post content here. Really good stuff. You can find my posts here. My username is Shook. I make updates with all of the news that comes out. People talk strategy here. People ask me questions. I respond to all of you guys. So if you ever have any questions, please feel free to ask them there. If you ever need to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Reddit Messenger, or you can get a hold of me on Twitter at Tori Langley1992. So let's take a look at my lineup from tonight. And just, I am in incredible amounts of pain. Incredible amounts of pain. Incredible amounts of pain. So, the core that I had. Oh, also, if Discord is something you are interested in, I will have a link to that below. So, the core that I had for today was Reggie Jackson, Keldon Johnson, Norman Powell, and LeBron James. You guys are probably wondering, LeBron James isn't in my lineup. Unfortunately, when Keldon Johnson got injured, I had to pivot off him because he was extremely, extremely popular. So I went to Nikola Jokic. That almost ended up working out until Luke Kennard got injured, and Norman Powell didn't play the fourth quarter, and Reggie Jackson didn't play the second half. Just so dumb, dude. I actually cash here with Keldon in my lineup. If Reggie plays the second half, if Kennard doesn't get injured, who is absolutely smashing, and if Norman Powell plays the fourth quarter, I actually would have cashed. I probably scored like 280 or something, and like 280s up here, like all the way up here. I would have cashed. Like, I think in the second half, we could have realistically expected like 10 more fantasy points from Reggie, so add 10, probably like, another 10 from Pal, add another 10, that's 20. And then if Luke Kennard plays the second half, I think we can add another like 15. So like, actually, if Pal plays the fourth, 10. If Reggie plays the second half, we'll add like 15 because he's a solid point per minute guy, except for tonight. But if he plays like 30 minutes, I think we can expect 15 fantasy points from him. So 15, 25, add another 10, 35. I mean, you guys shouldn't be doing this, but realistically, I think we could have expected 275 fantasy points out of my lineup if Kennard doesn't get injured and the Clips play the second half. Just absolutely brutal. But there is some highlights to the day. So I don't know if you guys watched my public video yesterday, but I mentioned a guy on the Lakers that I liked, and people got to him on the night slate in the Discord. Kendrick Nunn, who is absolutely smashing. Love to see that. But then, yeah, I ran it out my lineup with James Harden, Patrick Williams, Jalen Duren, and Luke Kennard and Jokic. So, unfortunately, 2 injuries in my lineup. Nobody runs worse than me. I run the worst on the planet. If you hear anyone say otherwise, it's fake news. They are lying to you. Fake news. Fake news. All right, let's go over this 4-gamer that we have for tomorrow. So we got an interesting one here. We got some good spots to take advantage of. I will not have an NFL video out for the 2-gamer tomorrow, but I will have an NFL video out for the main slate. I hope. Hopefully, I have enough time to do it. I'll either have an NBA video for Sunday or an NFL one. I'm not entirely sure which I'll do yet, but I'll have at least a video out for Sunday, whether that's NBA or NFL. All right, let's do this. So Utah at Chicago. We got a good matchup here for Utah. Chicago, they play fast. They're 14th in pace. They're not the best defensively. They're 28th in defensive rating. So I think marketing at 9.3 is kind of pushing it in price tag, but he does have this type of ceiling if he's hitting his shots. Rebounds have been a little underwhelming of late, but he does have double-double upside. They're running a tight rotation too with the main guys. So like Marketing, Clarkson, these two guys are going to play huge minutes. The other guys, not so much. Like Conley will play like around 30. Olynyk Vanderbilt probably play around 30. But Clarkson, Marketing, these two guys, they're going to lead the way offensively. They should play 35-ish minutes. Like I said, excuse. Oh my god. Like I said, I think Markkanen's a little bit overpriced for me, but I think it's a fine GPP play in a pace-up spot in a good matchup. Like if you want to fully stack this game and play Markkanen, I think that's a viable strategy for GPPs, just because that Lakers game is going to be the most popular game on the slate. And look at the free throw percentage, like absolutely insane. 13 for 13, 15 for 15, 12 for 12, 3 for 3. Like this guy is I guess a really good free throw shooter. I didn't know that. So I think he's fine. I think Clarkson's just there for me. Hasn't flashed the ceiling of late, so I don't really want to pay 7.44K for Clarkson, but I'd much rather go to like Levine on the other side. So just a dart for me. I think Mike Conley's still a pretty solid play at 5.9K. I know you guys are screaming at your screens right now that I'm saying Mike Conley's a solid play at almost $6,000, but it's just super, super safe, man. Gonna play over 30 minutes, gonna stuff the stat sheet. He's not gonna be like productive offensively, but with the peripheral stats, you don't need him to be. So, like Mike Conley there at 5.9K. This grouping of Olynyk and Vanderbilt, they're both kind of there for me. Like, they're both the same. They're always in foul trouble. One of them will benefit from the other being in foul trouble. They both have a super high ceiling, so it's just a dart. Like, throw a dart on a dartboard if you ask me Vanderbilt or Olynyk. Like, I have no lean. I don't. They're just both, I think, good GPP options. Malik Beasley got his minutes slashed last game. I don't really understand why. I kind of want to check if it was because of the blowout, but I don't think it was. I feel like the starters played pretty much the whole fourth. They did. So Malik Beasley, nothing more than a dart for me. Does have a ceiling. Maybe they extend him if he's really, really hot. Like Walker Kessler, he's probably going to play like 20 minutes or so. Good point per minute guy. I'm fine with it, but I think there will be better value. For some reason, Rudy Gay is in the rotation. I can't play him, though. They played Talen Horton Tucker last game, but I think that's getting a little bit too cute for my liking. Let's go over Chicago. So I like Chicago today. It's a really good spot. Utah is 12th in pace. They're 27th in defensive rating. So I like all the Bulls today. I think DeMar, Vooch, Levine all look like pretty solid plays to me. I think Vooch is my favorite just because Utah has been absolutely garbage against bigs. Although he did have a massive game tonight, which means he'll probably go a little bit over owned, but regardless of ownership, I think he's a very, very solid play. It's just the absolute nut spot behind Charlotte. So love Vooch today. I think Levine, very, very good play. Had a ceiling game tonight, which sucks. Gonna up the ownership, but very solid play in my opinion. DeMar DeRozan is going to be the guy that's going to go pretty much unowned out of these guys. So if you're a GPP bro and you want to be like, fuck that, I don't want to play Chalk Vooch or Chalk Levine, going to DeMar DeRozan I think could be a very, very sharp play in tournaments because I think Vooch and Levine are going to get ownership tomorrow. But like all the three main guys, and I like the value here. I'm not expecting Caruso to play tomorrow, so I think Patrick Williams is going to be locked in for huge minutes. He had 3 fantasy points at half and ended with 30, but he's not going to be like super productive. Like he's more out there, play defense, but he can get you a few rebounds. He can shoot the ball a bit. So I think Patrick Williams is pretty good value, assuming Caruso's out. And I think Ayo Dosunmu is pretty good value. Definitely had a bad game tonight, but he's going to play big minutes, assuming this game stays close. So I like both of the values. And I think Kobe White is definitely someone I have interest in if Alex Caruso's out. Played 24 minutes tonight. A guy that's going to be pretty productive when he's on the court. So, yeah, a lot to like with the Bulls tomorrow. All right, tough matchup here for the Pels. Dallas, they play slow. They're 29th in pace. They play solid D. They're 21st in pace. So, even though it's a tough matchup, I think CJ is still too cheap with no Zion, no Ingram. So, do like CJ here. Jonas Valanciunas nothing more than a dart throw with Larry Nance back. Najee Marshall has continued to absolutely smash. He's probably going to be the highest owned of these wings. So I'd rather just go to like Trey Murphy in GPP. So, while I do think Najee Marshall is the better straight up play over Trey Murphy, I don't think it's enough to warrant that Najee Marshall is going to be extremely popular over Trey Murphy. So if you're in GPPs, I think I'd much rather take the shot on Trey Murphy. But Najee Marshall definitely has a higher floor. He's going to stuff the stat sheet more than Trey Murphy. So straight up, it's definitely Najee Marshall. But I think both are pretty good plays. Larry Nance, I don't think he'll play enough for me to really go there. And I think Jose Alvarado, solid value, should play, I don't know, 20-ish minutes. Good defender, get those defensive stats, can stuff the stat sheet. So definitely do like Alvarado. Let's move on to Dallas. Tough spot here. Pelicans are 13th in pace, very good defensively, 5th in defensive rating. So if I play Luke, I'll let you guys know. Played him here, went for 30. Faded here, went for 110. Played. I think I played him here with one of these ceiling games, but he's matchup proof. I don't have to go over why Luka's a good play. Wood, should play low 30s minutes. I think the price is appropriate. I think the matchup is fine. So I think he's just there for me. I think he's a pretty safe play. Dinwiddie, Hardaway, hard passes. And then I'll mention Reggie Bullock with no Dorian Finney-Smith. Played basically 40 minutes last game. He definitely needs the minutes to get there. But anytime you have a guy under 4K that's going to play close to 40 minutes, unfortunately, he is firmly in play for value. So let's move on to Orlando. I'm going to make this quick. It's just Banchero for me at the top. I have no interest in anyone else. We have Mo Wagner back. That's probably going to cut into Wendell Carter Jr. a little bit. You have Suggs back. He barely played last game, but I expect his minutes to go up. That's probably going to hurt guys like Cole Anthony, maybe Markelle Fultz a little bit. Mo Bamba's probably going to be out of the rotation with Mo back, so I can't go to Harris or Ross with Suggs and Franz back, so just Banchero at the top for me for Orlando. So it's a good matchup here. I'm just going to close this. We don't really need it. It's a good matchup here for the Warriors. We do have Andrew Wiggins back, but I think Poole, Thompson, pretty good plays. I don't really think Wiggins being back really changes too much for them. So like both of them, I expect Wiggins to be on a limit. Can't really go there. Draymond Green, I don't think Wiggins back really affects him, so I think he's a pretty safe play in the mid-range. Dante out of play at that price tag with Wiggins back. And then I think Ty Jerome is definitely a solid play. Been extremely productive off the bench. Will be a higher usage player off the bench too. Now my only issue here is he'll probably be sharing the floor with Dante DiVincenzo more, with those two both coming off the bench. So that definitely does hurt him, but yeah, I think he's a perfectly fine value. And let's move on to the best game to target. So phenomenal spot here. I want to see how many minutes Kendrick Nunn has played so far. So he's in the game right now because he was at 11. So he's on pace for like 20 minutes. Okay. So LeBron looks phenomenal, assuming he plays. Absolutely love LeBron in this phenomenal spot. Westbrook in play for GPPs. Like the spot a lot for Thomas Bryant. I think he makes for a pretty good play. Dennis Schroeder has upside at 5.7K. I want to see how many minutes he's on pace for, with no Lonnie Walker, no Austin Reeves. Should be huge minutes. Yeah, on pace for just absolutely massive minutes. So I think Schroeder's perfectly fine. I think Patrick Beverly is a solid value. He's going to have to play huge minutes. And then I want to see what Kendrick Nunn ends with tonight. But if we're going to get 20-ish minutes out of Kendrick Nunn at the flat min, I like him for value. We also do have Brown back, I believe. Is he playing, though? No. Okay, cool. So, yeah, I like Nunn for value. Assuming we get some more minutes. I think Wenyen Gabriel is in play. Like Patrick Beverly, like Schroeder, like Bryant a lot. Westbrook's in play. Love LeBron. So a lot to like on the Lakers. And I like a lot on the Sacramento Kings. Love Sabonis. Phenomenal spot here. Pace up spot. Triple-double upside. He looks great. I think Fox looks good against this putrid Lakers team against guards. Really like Fox. Apologize, guys. I think Herter in this spot has a really good matchup. I like his ceiling a lot. I think Barnes is fine. I definitely do prefer Herter. I like Monk if he plays. Minutes kind of all over the place, but will get extended if he's playing super well. Has insane upside at this price tag, so do like Monk if he plays. Keegan Murray, minutes kind of on a downtrend, but perfectly fine value. So yeah, and if Monk's out, I don't really think that changes much for me. You can consider Davion Mitchell if Monk's out, but a lot to like in this last game. I hope this video helped you guys out, and I will talk to y'all tomorrow.